Je vais répondre en français. Ok? I will answer in French. Je crois que le monde de la science est comme le monde, il est divisé en deux. Il y a des savants qui s'émerveillent de la science. Il y a des savants qui sont complètement partie prenante d'une spiritualité, d'une conscience, d'une participation à l'univers.
Every particle attracts every other particle in the universe with a force proportional to mm' over r squared. That's the force of gravity.
Et puis il y a des scientifiques qui sont sceptiques, qui ont une approche assez scientiste des choses.
It's only when things behave in the simple, orderly ways that we can see that we know, for example, that if you put a brick on another brick, it'll stay there so you can build a house, or if you throw a dagger at somebody, it will kill him.
Mais la division que l'on retrouve de la science, on la retrouve partout.
And so you have opportunity of either doing good or doing harm, but you wouldn't have those opportunities unless the world was a regular place.
Je crois qu'il y a des êtres qui s'émerveillent devant le monde et d'autres qui sont en opposition et dans une position souvent assez durcie.
Science and theology really represent two entirely different planes. Let's say I were to take any human being, someone can be analyzed today. Today we have, since the Human Genome Project, we have the ability to actually create an entire DNA map of someone. We could map out their DNA, we could subject them to every possible physical test, we could give them psychological evaluations, we could create a report on this individual that would be this thick. But would that mean that we know that person? Could we say that we really know them in the sense of who they truly are? No, we know a lot about them because science is confined to the physical world, pretty much.
C'est que nous devons tous faire un passage. Nous avons tous été à un moment quelqu'un de sceptique, quelqu'un de scientiste, quelqu'un d'assez pratique, pragmatique, utilisant les choses.
Certainly, I've heard some scientists say that their discipline, I mean their world, is still wounded by the tragedies of Galileo and Copernicus. In other words, the whole scientific world is still extremely suspicious of the metaphysical, the holistic, precisely because it collectively remembers the time when honest scientists were, so to speak, bullied by the power of religion.
Et puis, il y a en nous quelqu'un qui est ouvert, quelqu'un qui est libéré, quelqu'un qui peut aller vers l'avenir, quelqu'un qui participe à l'univers. Je crois que le débat qu'il y a à l'intérieur de la science se trouve hors de la science. Je crois que le débat qui se trouve à l'intérieur de la science se trouve en nous-mêmes.
Do you believe that evolution is teleological and that it's designed to produce a human, in other words?
Yes, not only a human. I may say, if God, the only thing God was interested in was human beings, he would have created us just like that. He wouldn't have bothered about animals or the inanimate world. But I think the inanimate world is a very good thing. When you have to look at the night sky, the beauty of the stars, and if you watch them over time, as you can in a speeded up film of the universe, the beauty of the evolution of the galaxies and the production within them of stars and the clashing of stars and the occurrence of supernovae and so on is a cosmic dance, very beautiful.
Je suis d'un côté quelqu'un qui parfois me rassure en ayant une position qui est une position de maîtrise du monde, et puis d'autre part je suis parfois quelqu'un qui a ce qu'on appelle l'intellect purifié, cette imagination créatrice qui permet de rassembler les énergies, de rassembler la relation entre l'homme et le monde.
Human beings unless the Big Bang had started with just the force it did. If particles had repelled each other spread away from the centre of the Big Bang just a bit faster than they did, then there would have been no planets and no life.
You know, if you take the back off an old-fashioned transistor radio, you'd see all the circuits and the transistors, the capacitors, the resistors, the potentiometers, etc. But you'd be an idiot to think that the program you're listening on your radio, the voices of all the actors, the creativity that's gone into it, is being generated by those mechanical things. Those mechanical things are only channeling the radio signal.
Sometimes physicists say, what a waste that all this had to be gone through to produce human beings. Well, it's a work of art. And even if God were the only person to see it, it would be a beautiful work of art. But of course he isn't the only person to see it, because we can see it. Light takes such a long time to come from distant galaxies that we can see it.
The relationship between the soul, if you like, and the body is one of the relationship between a broadcasting studio and the radio that receives the signal. That's not to suggest the radio is unimportant or even inferior. It is an integral part of the entire experience. I would say that the soul is very much about a question of evolution, that the whole point of being is to progressively wake up to what it means to be soul, to progressively wake up to what it means to be embodied soul in this world, in this life, with all this materiality that surrounds us.
Et je crois que c'est là que se trouve le problème aujourd'hui de notre devenir. L'intelligence de l'Église, c'est de considérer que le problème du monde se trouve à l'intérieur de l'homme, et le problème de l'homme se trouve à l'intérieur de son intelligence, et le problème de son intelligence se trouve à l'intérieur de sa relation au monde, ou bien les êtres sont ouverts, ou bien ils sont fermés dans une position d'opposition.
Well, several of the fathers pointed out that indeed the tree that was forbidden Adam and Eve was intended always for the human person to partake of. And the problem of their partaking of it was partaking of it against God's wishes and in effect early.
Now, here's one of the Greek church fathers, Theophilus of Antioch, talking about the consequences of eating, so to speak, from the wrong tree. And the tree of knowledge itself was good, and its fruit was good. For it was not the tree, as some think, but the disobedience which had death in it. For there was nothing else in the fruit but knowledge. Knowledge, however, is good when one uses it discreetly.
Alors, ce qui est important, c'est que toute l'humanité change, c'est-à-dire que la communauté scientifique se transforme, que la communauté de la culture se transforme, que nous tous se transformons, que moi-même je me transforme.
One of the things that the Eastern Church emphasizes is that creation wasn't only a once-off exercise. It's also the case that creation is perpetually in progress. We speak of the energies of God, or the activities of God, which are perpetually going on.
You know, you're just studying the embodiment of God by reading about history, or maybe psychology, or about physics, or biochemistry, or maybe even cobbling or blacksmithing and all that. You know, these are all aspects of that embodiment of God, and that is theology. Right?
Vous voyez, c'est là où je crois que se trouve l'intérêt de notre devenir. Voilà, notre devenir, nous sommes en devenir, et il est difficile de devenir parce que le devenir nous bouscule, il crée du chaos, mais à travers ce chaos, il y a de l'ordre. Il y a du devenir. Voilà comment je vois le problème.